You have been through First Steps conversations, and now you want to disciple someone else. Let me give you some best practices that I have learned through decades of discipling. I want to give you some do's, in other words, some things that you should do, and some don'ts, in other words, some things that you shouldn't do. Number one, this is what you should do. Be a servant. Serve the other person. Number two, be a good example. There are action steps throughout First Steps. Make sure that you have done the action steps. You've memorized your life verses before you ask someone else to memorize their life verses. Three, what you should always do is keep confidentiality within the relationship. If someone shares something with you, don't share it with someone else. And four, only disciple same gender, male with male, female with female. Also, some things that you shouldn't do. These are the don'ts. Don't counsel. First Steps is discipleship. It's not counseling. You stick with the 10 lessons. That's the material. For 10 weeks, 3 months, you disciple one another. You do not counsel. It's not a counseling session. Two, don't give advice. It's not counsel. It's not advice. Oftentimes, somebody might ask you, what should I do about this car? What should I do about this house? What should I do about my boyfriend or girlfriend? Don't give advice. Stick to the material, because the material has been written and it focuses on their needs for the first 3 months. And that's the advice that you need to give them. That's only within the written material itself. Three, no personal gain. In other words, if you sell insurance and you're discipling somebody, you can't sell them insurance. You cannot use the discipling relationship for personal gain. And four, do not give them money. That doesn't mean that you can't minister to their needs, but if you ever give them money, I would suggest that you ask a pastor or somebody else who's done discipling whether it's the appropriate thing to do. So there's do's and there's don'ts, but one final encouragement that I have to say, the 10-minute rule. The 10-minute rule means this. You sit down in a discipling relationship, you can have an opening conversation, but within the first 10 minutes, get into the material. So important, because if you don't, you can talk, the hour's over, and you didn't get lesson one finished. Why you need to get the 10 lessons finished is because the material has been written for the needs of a new believer within the first 3 months. That's why you need to abide by the 10-minute rule and get through the material in 1 hour, 10 lessons. You can take a couple weeks for some of the lessons, but get through within 3 months, because First Steps Conversations is to help a new believer have the appropriate foundation so that they can grow in Christ.